Thank you, Mr. Rashidi, for this invitation. The topic for today's discussion is going to be about Kurdistan in America. You asked the question of what do the Kurdish youth community in America have to do? In my opinion, Kurds use the term Peshmerga, which means those who put themselves in front of death. And there are many forms of Peshmerga nowadays. Some who have to sadly use arm to promote their ideals, but those Peshmergas or those Kurdish youth abroad in America, Canada, or elsewhere across the world can become Peshmergas also. Not necessarily through weapons, but through their pencil, through education, through spreading the word of who are Kurds and what is Kurdistan. These are this basic form that can make the entire difference in spreading information of Kurdistan. I have traveled to Europe, across America, to visit and hear what the Kurdish youth have to say. And they all have different opinions, different questions and statements regarding Kurdistan. Some strongly believe that in the near future, Kurdistan will be independent. And some Kurds sadly feel that Kurdistan will take another 50 to 100 years to be fully independent. We see that there are a huge variety of differences regarding Kurdistan and the Kurds. But one thing we can agree on is that if the Kurds are united abroad, it will make it that much more easier for the Kurds within Kurdistan to see the success. When we look at America, it has been thriving both politically, economically, and socially. Kurdistan is a beacon, is a solution for equality in the Middle East, for success in the Middle East. We look at Israel, we look at Turkey, but Kurdistan is different than these two nations, and any nation in the Middle East for that matter. We have a nation of more than 40 million people without their homeland, the biggest in the world. But the question gets asked is, why do they not have a nation? What do the Kurds have to do? And I strongly believe that the youth can do so much for Kurdistan. They can have a pivotal role. I know it's very complex. No one will debate this. But it just starts with the simple question of what Kurdistan is, or where are the Kurds? Whether it's in school, whether it's with your friend, a professor, or just outside and enjoying your day. You just need to show the patriotism. You need to express that Kurdistan is indeed a nation, but that it's not on the map. Just because it's not on the map does not mean it's not a nation. It's just that mean it hasn't received the recognition of the international community. And there's nobody to blame for this but ourselves. If we don't ask ourselves why Kurdistan has not become a nation, then we will never get the answer. The important part is that we ask ourselves what we can do and take step by step finding a solution. No one says this is going to be easy. Nobody says that. But as I mentioned before, if we are united and have one common purpose, we can see successful Kurdistan. If we look back 20 years ago, the situation in Kurdistan was far more different than it is today. Now we see that Kurds in Iraq play a pivotal role in what's happening in the Kurds in Syria, or even in other parts of the Middle East. When I went to Europe to visit the Kurdish communities, I saw a lot of passion towards Kurdistan. The youth love Kurdistan. They always talked about it. They told me their memories regarding their trips back to Kurdistan. And it's very beautiful. It truly is, to see so much hope, so much power coming from these young men and women. And we need that to be even more stronger. We don't want that fire to diminish. We want that fire to increase. This is what it shows. And this is what the future of Kurdistan can hold. When we are united, when we are optimistic, it makes the entire difference. So I want to thank Mr. Rashidi once more for this interview and giving me the opportunity to express my opinions on Kurdistan. Thank you once again.